Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the first video. Today we are talking about this wonderful number right here. $31,000 in debt. And it sucks, but it's a situation that a lot of us find ourselves in. So how do we get out of debt? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today, and I want you to invite all of you on my journey to paying off my $31,385.41 in debt. So how did we get here? Well, it turns out engagement rings are fucking expensive, college is fucking expensive, houses are fucking expensive, and cars are fucking expensive. And I'm bad with money. So here we go, breaking it down one by one. Here we go. Engagement ring, $2,130 in debt. Not bad for an engagement ring, but here I was thinking, I'm going to be a genius. I'm going to take the 12 months, same as cash. I'm going to pay it off slowly over that time, invest that money I would have spent otherwise, saving up right here and make more money on my return. Well, sure, and that's worked out all right, but I don't like seeing that number in my spreadsheets every month. Number two, credit cards. Okay, what do we got with credit cards? Sorry, shutting the laptop. We don't need that open right now, do we? No, we do not. $1,925.56. How did I get here? Well, believe it or not, a large majority of that actually is for the equipment used to make, these videos, record the podcast that I'm part of, and to start up the side hustle that I actually have. I did go into debt for these things. We can debate whether or not that was a good idea or not. I lean more towards, I could have done a little bit better, right? But we got lights here, we got a camera here, we got lights here. Can't see it here, you can see it here. We got a microphone up here that you can't see in either one, and a boom stand for that. Got some microphone cables that we got here. We got some stands, and we got a couple of things basically for meeting clients, either virtually or in person. Now that I don't want to be demonetized, now that things are starting to move back to normal, quote unquote. Had to meet people. And it turns out, since I've been working from home for the last little over a year, I haven't had to buy a new pair of shoes. I really gave a shit about what my shoes looked like for a while, and now my red Pumas are now kind of a green Puma because of all the lawn mowing and weed whacking and just general stuff that, didn't need a pair of shoes for work or anything. Just needed a pair of shoes to do everything. So I had to get myself a pair of shoes actually to meet with clients, because otherwise that would look, might not look the best. So student loans. Chances are, if you're watching this, you also have student loans, and you know how much student loans suck. Maybe you were a genius, though, and you didn't have to pay for any college because you got a full ride. Or maybe you were extra genius and applied for a shit ton of scholarships and got all of them, and you didn't have to pay anything because you busted your ass. Or you were like me and had parents that made just enough money so you didn't really qualify for any of the financial aid, but they didn't make enough to send your ass to college, which, in my opinion, parents shouldn't be sending their kids to college anyways. Destroy me in the comments. So, student loans, I have $8,366 left on that undergrad bill payment. I have been paying that along. I have been in a place of forbearance right now. I know that the government put on something to make it so that people weren't paying for a while. I don't know what that was. I'm actually in a master's program, which technically this is not debt because the bill has not come yet, and I've been paying for it out of pocket. $1,435.85 left on that. Truck. I got a truck. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it's a truck. So I got a truck because I decided I needed a boat 3 or 4 years ago, and needed a truck to pull a boat. Well, it turns out trucks are expensive, as I noted earlier. See this clip here. The cars are expensive. Turns out super expensive, so that I have $6,528 left to pay on. And then the final thing. What's the final, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Final thing is the house. And I have a total of $11,000 left to pay on this house, and then the house will be paid off. So, making progress along there. But that leads us to a grand total of $31,000 $385.41. Like how I did that there? Simple editing trick. Boom! Anyways, that's how we got to where we are. Well, that's the breakdown. So, how did we get here? How did he get here? Well, probably stupidity in some sense. I think you could say that. I know that some people, there's a whole debate about what's good debt versus bad debt. Is any debt good? Is all debt bad? I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to Graham Stephan and me, Kevin and Andre Jick. Those guys know more than I do. I'm just simply saying I got some debt and I'm working to pay that off. Because apparently with the great reset that's going to happen in 9 years, we're not going to own anything and we're going to be happy. But I'm not going to be happy if I don't own anything and I'm still in debt. So, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to pay it off. All right, that's the video. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Everybody, joking. I'm joking. Calm down. We'll talk about how I'm going to pay this off. Well, first off, we're going to actually work the budget a little bit. We're going to tweak it just a little bit or a lot to get this debt paid off faster. I don't have a specific timeline yet of how fast I want to have this paid off, or I'm going to have this paid off by December 31st, 2020. I'll make enough money to get this paid off in, 8 months, 7 months, 5, 6, I don't know. We're in May right now. We're also going to start a side hustle, or maybe a couple side hustles, which is actually true, which is what I've done. One is a marketing consulting business. That's correct. So if you're watching this and you're a business owner, link down in the description to my website. I am also co-owner of a brand named Implement Impact, which you can find here on YouTube, actually, and on all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as social media channels. Links in the description down to that. For anybody who has watched that, you know that we've had a little bit of a delay on stuff. We'll get into that later, but rest assured, we will be back with new episodes very soon. But I want to go into one last thing. Why did I decide to pay off all of this debt? Turns out, there's this book called Playing with Fire. Can you see that? Yeah, okay. It's by a guy named Scott Rickens. Sorry, Scott. I think I just butchered your name. Scott. He wrote this book, forward written by Mr. Money Mustache, which is named Pete something. I don't know what his actual name is. I've read his blog for years now. Started reading it in college. He would kick my ass, actually, for all of the things that I've spent money on, and seeing that I'm $31,000 in debt. He would be pissed. Definitely sets me on a different course to what I want to do with my life and how I want things to go. So I am now inspired to save a ton of money to pay down $31,000 in debt. I think I'm rambling now. Last note, if you do find yourself in this situation like me, where we maybe have a lot of debt, maybe you have more debt than me. I think actually, just based on the raw numbers that I've read, I am on the very low side of consumer debt. What I'm saying is that we can all do this together. I'm building this community here to help everybody, find ways to improve themselves and talk about their lives and ways that we can improve our lives and ways of financially, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, whatever it may be. Just kind of want to talk about it. And, if you have any questions about this, actually, if you have any questions about my debt, how I got here, what I'm doing to get out of it, how it's going, I will be launching weekly videos and we'll go over where I stand on debt, how things are going with the business and everything. We will be going through that every week. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. All one person who watches this video. Subscribe, follow along this journey. It's going to be a pretty cool video when one day that says 0, and hopefully a few of you can celebrate with me. Until then, have a great day.